Alrighty, take 2 with Simba. He just decided to poop, so I just, restarted it. So, anyways, he's been with us for a while. We're just doing like a refresher on all the techniques that we've been doing with our other commands, excuse me. Just work on his, let's go. We're gonna do the recall, heal, all that good stuff. So we'll let him sniff around for a second because he's a retriever and he needs to sniff, man. Sniffing is a very powerful tool for the dogs to increase motivation. So, what do you smell, Simba? Huh? What do you smell? Simba, let's go. Good job. Good job, buddy. Simba, come. Sit. Oh. Good job. He's so cute, isn't he? Oh, you found some water. So we're gonna test his impulse, because that's kind of what I want to see how he's doing with that still. Okay, good job, Simba. Good job. Well, I'm not gonna tell you it again. That's not how it works. You definitely want to play like a little game with that, but can't have him thinking that we only use okay like if we put him in an actual command. So. Which today's been really fun for me because I basically just worked retrievers up until this point today. So it's been a great opportunity for me. Good job. And it's fun. I was training a nervous retriever earlier, so it's fun to just see like a full-on just, hyper retriever in action. Not that he's like crazy or anything, but he pees and then he bolts and then he pees and then he bolts. Oh, all right, well, guess we'll go get a poop bag, and then when we're done with here, when I'm done working all his commands, so go get that. He's been pooping a lot. Simba, let's go. Good job. Come. He's so cute. His little coat, his little fur coat. Such a good boy. Yes, you are. Wee. Okay. And so the sit and the recall and the let's go all look really good. So what we're gonna do now is keep those in mind. I just freaking mouth breathing with the world. Let's go. But what we're going to test now is his down and his recall. You got to mark everything. So yeah, so we're going to do the down and we're going to do the heel. Excuse me. But I don't want to drill them too hard. Retrievers, they can do a lot. But at the same time, I don't want to overwork them. Let's go. He hasn't. Oh. Yeah, so we made me use the e-collar there. Now, I was very strict with him on that because the thing is, it's a refresher for him, like I said. So he came to us a while back. I wasn't even working yet. Been here for about over a year now. So he came us to Angier K9 a while back. And so he knows everything. So we're just being really strict about it. I'm just being like, hey, this is how it works. If he was in his training, I'd give him a second chance and be like, okay, good job. But he knows everything, so we just gotta be real strict. Simba, down. Oh, so here's something interesting. Let's go. So something I don't believe when he came with us he learned a down. So what we are doing with this refresher is I'm going to teach Simba a down. So this is great. Simba, down. Now, retrievers go into it pretty easily. Okay. Good down. Right, retrievers, like, it's fairly easy to teach a retriever a down. Now, let's see if he'll pull on me. He looked at me, he was like, bro, really? Yeah, you can't be pulling, Simba. Not that it's the first time you hit the end of the leash this whole session, but it was weird. He needs to pee on something else. Right. Hey. Down. Down. There we go. So again, I didn't give up. Made him like go into it. He doesn't have an option. Okay. And the thing he loves most in the world is to be pet all day. I think if I just pet him forever, he would be like, this is life. Oh. So he is, you know, the down is a fairly easy. I find that retrievers do grasp the down really fast. That's also why I like training retrievers, because I don't have to fight them and a lot of stuff. However, his radius needs a little bit of work, so we're going to work on that. Radius is pretty fun to teach. You know what you're doing. Alright, so the e-collar is too low right now. He's just blatantly, like, ignoring me. Gave in. Hey, Simba. Buddy. Thanks. I just lock it, like, when he gets to that point. I just have to stay really on top of it. Yep. That's how we do it. And he kind of learns, like, lengthwise what he's allowed to do. You do have to, like I said, really be on top of it if you're going to do it that way. I prefer doing it that way because I really hate it when the leash, like, gets under the legs and everything. You're good, Simba. Yeah, you're good, bro. So I'm going to turn the e-collar just down a little bit. Right, let's just out his heel. Simba, heel. Hey. Okay, good job. All right. So he pretty much remembers everything at this point. So the only thing I am going to work on is just that down. I want it to look really nice. Simba, down. Down. Perfect. He likes to cover up one paw no matter what side he's on, which is interesting. Okay. Oh, alright. You can see I tapped the e-collar, and that's like the best response right there. Is when I have it like that. And again, the leash is really nice. Right, and so that's kind of what he gets when he holds on to the leash. I just e-collar till he lets go. The main thing is, like, don't back off. So the dog backs off, or else you kind of transmit the wrong idea there. Simba, come here. Simba, down. Down. Simba, down. Down. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Okay. Somebody got got a little distracted. So like right now, I'm letting him run off the leash because I know that like the way when he hits the, like right there, he backs off immediately. I'm cool with that. Like if a dog wants to go run around and do their thing. However, like in this case, I know that like if I lock the leash to a certain setting, then he does that. He's going a little farther though than I would maybe like him to, so I am trying to reinforce just a little bit of the radius with him because he's like hitting basically the end, which I'm just not cool with. I don't necessarily want it to be like a 10-foot, but yeah. Alright, so he's backing off, so we'll keep monitoring it though. Let's go. It's real nice. So that's exactly how we fix it though, is we say let's go. Given that it's a more natural thing, because what you end up doing, I'm going to go into a little theory here for a second, is with saying let's go to anything that you essentially don't want your dog to run up to, right? So in this case we're talking about like public neutrality, right? It's like a big thing that I find with the retrievers, it's all about public neutrality. So in that case, it's just don't get distracted and run up like it's a person or animal, vehicle, whatever, right? Like you can't just chase everything that's in motion. So, Simba, come. Eh. Oop, you got tangled, dude. There we go. All right, let's retry that. Come. Okay. Eat that. He's like, stop making that noise. It's not fun. So we give the let's go to anything. And over time, you condition them to just be like, all right, anytime I see something, like, we need to let's go. So it's sort of like you do train the commands first. That way you can go into, and ideally, like, if you can do a let's go with, like, the cars, that's great. Sometimes it doesn't work, and you do generally have to make them scared. So if you e-collar every time they run up to them, to the car, then you create a different thing. It's not neutrality, it's fear. And so it's just all about what you want to create. So like with people, I don't e-collar when they're running up to the person, because what you can teach them is that the people are bad, not the action, right? So in this, like with most things, we try to condition as opposed to create. Oh, bro, what the? Dude, I'm gonna have so much poop to pick up at the end. All right, Simba, come on. Simba. What? Wait. Yeah, it's funny. Retrievers, they do a lot of gross things, and they only get away with it because they're so cute. The other dogs do it, I'm like, Then I see a retriever do it, they have that little goofy face. I'm like, oh, look at that, he's pooping. So he's checking in with me. It's really good. Obviously, we're gonna keep tuning him up as long as he's here. Simba, come. Okay. Yeah, so I said okay, so I'm not gonna make him do it again. Let's go. See, what was that right there? This fixation, the light fixation. He like kind of was like, ooh, let me get out of it. But it was there. So next time I see him do that, Simba, let's go. Sit. Eh. Just little things like that clearly he's a little, you know, we've had him for a while. He's kind of staying with us extended because of some extenuating circumstances. Okay. So, in that sense, you know, we're having to tune him up a lot more than like your average dog that stays with us. But, yeah, he's looking pretty dope. He's looking cool. He dogging. So I will say he's just running off a lot more than he did when he got with us. I don't know if that's just a rut because he got rusty or if it's because his owner was like cool with it. I don't know. I'll tighten it up that way. If it is too tight. This is going to be the big test for Simba right here. And we're going to see what he does. He loves people. Simba, let's go. Let's go. Simba, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, so that I was pretty like I tapped a lot. He was like, I don't like that. But I had to do it. It's the rules. Oh, see that face? He's like, please, just let me get one. Because, you know, retrievers they were bred to be on the prairies. You know, they were made to do action. So you have to just teach them how to do it in a way without necessarily repressing anything, but just classical conditioning combined with reinforcement. That'll be great. Like right here, this would be kind of disastrous if he decided to just go and eat those little babies. So we're gonna see what he does. Then he's gonna get in a fight with the mama, and then I'll be in a fight with the mama. It's okay, Simba. Come on. Well, mom tried to fight him, but she could tell that she gets spit. All right, so we're gonna put him into an extended heel now. All right, Simba, heel. Simba, heel. For retrievers, Okay, good job, Simba. Simba, So right there, what I did, that actually shouldn't have happened. I kind of like, my brain kind of like, nope. It should be a no because we don't step on the road, right? To me, like with a dog like Simba, he's got to know that because honestly, if he did, he would just take off in the street and might get hit by a car. So I said no, but that was an immediate like, sleepy again. Nope. I haven't really followed it up with anything. I may in a minute if he does it again. Nope. Yeah. I did hit the red button for that because that is a punishment. It's our punisher. Simba. Dude. Alright, now I'm going to let him chill out because he did just get a couple notes. And then, of course, after that, we gave him the heels before, so he's probably, and it's warm outside, so you can overwork a dog. Sometimes it can be hot, but it's the heat combined with the intense activity, basically, that can sometimes overwork a dog. Sometimes it's not just one or the other, it's a compound. So we're trying to make sure that all the dogs we work stay safe out here. Ideally, if you know how to communicate very well, you might never have to use a note, except for like jumping, right? most of the time that's fixed before they go home. Sometimes, occasionally, you know, you get, you know, it's like a 50-50, right? So sometimes it's fixed, and sometimes you have to like proof it on the day, right, of the session, which is where like we do it at somebody's house. You proof the jumping, and it really takes maybe like 15-20 minutes, and you go over the rest of the commands. Pretty simple. Simba, come. Look at that. Nosy scratch. Eh. Yeah, see? Little stuff like that I try to recreate. Unless the dog knows, like, hey, you broke some rules. Okay. Good job. So we're gonna have to tune up the heel. Eh. Thought he was gonna. Yes, that was again an emergency thing. So he thinks he should be in a sit right now. I'm sorry, Simba. You're not in a sit. Come on. You're good, bro. Yeah, let's go. So we got a little confused there. I confused him, so that's why he kind of like froze up for a second. It's not even that he's a nervous dog or that he freezes up. Like, it's just I gave him some very conflicting piece of data. You know. So here I might keep the leash rather short when I'm walking. So he's pulling. It's not all right. That was a really high reaction, so I'm gonna turn it down a lot because the distraction's probably a lot less now. So he felt the e-collar a lot more. He's not gonna do it again now, though. Sorry, buddy. All right, now the leash is short. Okay, go be free. Yeah. So I didn't necessarily sign a command when I was like, oh, okay, be free. But just like that idea of like the high pitchedness kind of gets him a little more amped up. He knows we're all good. Just because you use the e-collar once on like a setting like that. Heel. Okay. Good job. And now we're back in the shade. And look how clean that water is. So that's kind of going to wrap the end of our session. I have currently some things to clean up after because he decided to poop on I think it was like 3 or 4 separate locations. So we're going to end this here and I'm going to go take care of that. So I'll see y'all around. Let's give one more recall and a little pet to end it. Simba, come. Pet. Wow.